Today I want to talk to you about the Ocoopa or Koopa hand warmers. So these are electronic hand warmers. I've been running these since late November, and I just discovered them. I was on Amazon, and really the thing is I got so sick of buying the temporary one-use or single-use hand warmers that you kind of shake and they're air activated. Those can get pretty warm and they're reasonably effective. I like the 24-hour ones. I mean, that lasts a really long time. Still has a use for here and there, but when I go to the range and I'm making these temporary trips in Minnesota, it's just cold. I mean, it's not uncommon to have 20 below days here and there, and if I'm going to go to the range and I want to go shoot, even from a slightly heated environment, your hands just get cold. And if you've never been in extreme cold before when you're trying to shoot, even if you have trigger mittens or something like that, just the cold of holding on to things, loading rounds, it's very hard to have good dexterity and good trigger control. Especially if I'm out woodworking or something like that. I like to have something like this, and it's got a lot of uses, and that's actually why I want to talk about it. This is not a sponsor of my channel. This is something I bought with my own money, and so take it for what it is here, guys. It's just my opinion. First of all, it just comes with basically what you see here, as well as a little baggie to put it in. I guess that might have a use, especially if you use this on the highest heat. I'll talk about that. It comes with a lanyard. You could kind of carry it around. It's way too small for man hands to put your hand in there, just strangle your hand basically. But it's got a little lanyard to rope it through something if you're going to hold on to it that way. The way that I like to use it is I basically just drop it in one of my pouch pockets in my parka, and that's the place where I'm going to go warm up my hands, or I want the whole pocket to warm up. I wear a down jacket, and so this does a really nice job of extending heat into a huge pocket of the jacket, the way that the down actually works in my parka, and this will heat a whole sector of the jacket depending on which pocket I throw it in, and as long as it's accessible to my hands, I can throw my hands in there, and the pocket itself is just so warm from that down retaining it and then being able to grab onto this. And so a couple of features first right off the bat. If you look at it right there, you can see there's a USB, there's a type C, and there's I can't remember what the other one is, if that's micro, I don't know, I can't remember what the other one is called. But this device is super handy, and it's easy to recharge. I recharge it on a Type C on a speed charger, like a lightning cable kind of thing, and it does really, fine, I guess, for me, considering that this lasts for many, many hours in extreme cold environments. I've used this for 6 hours on the highest setting, and it lasted for full heat, the full 6 hours. And let's talk about the heat setting a little bit, just so you get an idea. Basically, you have a button right here. It's the only button on the whole thing. And if you hold it down a little bit, it's going to give you your first, it's going to give you your first orange or red button on there, and that's the first heat indicator light. Typically, if you hold on the sides, you're not going to get a lot of the heat on the sides. You're not going to hold, or you're not going to burn your hands or anything holding on here. But even as short a time as I just waited, so I just pressed the button, you saw that this is already quite warm to the touch. It's reasonably warm. I would say on like a 30-degree day, if your hands were just getting chilly, this would be enough right there on the first setting, and it lasts an incredibly long time on the first setting. Now, if I go to the second one, so I just hold down that button a little bit longer, the second light goes on there, and now if I were to hold on to this, I would say on a relatively cold day, let's say somewhere around 15 degrees, this is enough heat coming out of here where it would warm up a big part of my pocket, and it would also be really handy for my hands just to grab onto, and it would give sufficient heat. And this is kind of my own real world testing that I've done when I'm out backpacking, or I get to a place where I'm stationary and I'm not moving around creating a lot of body heat, and I kind of rely on these to keep my hands warm. If I'm taking my mittens off, I just need to hold on to something if I don't have a fire going for some reason, especially at the range. This second setting is very, very efficient. In fact, even right now, I can hold on to it, but I would say just barely. I'd say just barely I can hold on to it. It's right on the cusp of being uncomfortable, but if I was out in the cold right now, I would say I probably could hold on to it, and it would feel more comfortable. Now, if I go to the third setting, I hold that down for a second, and now that third light is on. Now, within 10 to 15 seconds, this thing is going to be so hot that I actually can't quite hold on to it. Even right now. Right now, I'm telling you, it is so hot. Holding onto that thing, it's burning hot. I think it's right around 130 degrees, if I remember right, on the third setting. And so the thing with these hand warmers is there's different brands online. You'll find a bunch on Amazon, and a lot of them don't get as hot as these do. And so all I can say is, from a Minnesotan's perspective, somebody who actually deals with cold pretty often, These are superior. It lasts a long time, it gets much hotter, and it needs to be this hot to warm up a big pocket of my parka and my hands. Like I said, right now, it's a little too uncomfortable to hold on to. I think it would give you burns if you held onto it right there. And so if you have mittens on and you wanted to hold it on as well, it would warm up your mitten. It would be safe to hold on to, or you can hold on to the sides and just kind of put your hands around it. And there's a lot of heat coming off this thing, guys. Really cool feature. And then to turn it off, you're just going to press and hold those buttons like so, and then it's off. So it's really simple to use, not hard to figure out. The fact that you can use this for more features than one. So again, you see those hookups on the end there. Because it has a Type-C and a USB, I can actually use this to charge my phone. And so one of the things that you maybe don't know is I use a Pocket Osmo to film a lot of what I do. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm using a Pocket Osmo mic combination here. And when I go outside and it's really cold, I know that thing isn't going to last very long, but it's actually my phone that dies the fastest because I use my phone on Bluetooth and I use that as a controller for my camera to move things around. And the phone dies really, really quick, especially in the cold. I don't know why it's so bad. I have a Pixel 3 XL. I guess it's a big screen or something, but it dies fast. And so I can actually turn around and use this same device that I'm using to warm up my hands. I can use it to charge my phone. And it's really, really useful. And so I just thought maybe some of you out there are looking for something where you don't want to just keep investing in these like hot hand packs every year. And, you know, I'll keep a few of those around because there's a few choice times where that's still useful as long as they activate. And sometimes they last the whole time, which is really nice. But these are much more consistent in my experience. I'm actually liking these a lot better. It's going to cost you the electricity, I suppose, the energy to recharge them. In my case, I would prefer to do that rather than buying a package and, you know, disposing those each time. These, I've been using them for months now. They work really great, and reusable is kind of the thing I'm going towards. I wanted something that I could keep with me, and it has multi-purpose. It's not just, you know, a hand warmer. It also has multiple units on there for recharging different devices or being charged itself. There's a few different ways I can get at it, and so I think it's a pretty worthwhile tool. Again, the brand is right there. So that's Ocoopa or Ocoopa. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to say it's good to go, guys.